Hello, my name is Sherry Fatu Basher, and I have been electronically tortured for almost 13 years now. I can't believe that I'm sitting here and saying that it's been 13 years. It is December 13th, probably about 3 p.m. And this started on when I was between 29 and 30 years old. Now I am 42. Today I went out to wash my clothes, and it is always a miracle to me that everybody can see everything about me. In my apartment, I have no privacy. I can't sleep. I can't breathe. I am suffering every day, even just to think. And then one day I looked up, and it was one today, and something said, "You are the complete personification that America does not is not a democracy." They tout about how much of a democracy they are, but America is not a democracy. We don't live in a democracy in the U.S. And the more I live, I understand that why people don't want to talk about me, why people, even our own justice system, even our own leaders, don't even talk about me. And they have to see me every day. I am an expression and true definition of how the U.S. Not only do they are they do we lack a democracy, we lack leadership. No one knows who's really running this country, and we lack the true leadership and the true guidance that we need. Not only to not to be electronic torture. This is, but to say to stand and take responsibility. We take responsibility not only for just the electronic torture, but the COVID-19 virus that was just, the COVID-19 that's just going to run rampant through us. But all the things, police brutality, our racism and sexism that exists in our government it seems like from the inception of America. But not just that, is that it seems like people are happy to turn a blind eye than to say democracy does not live here in the U.S. True democracy does not live here in the U.S. Only a privileged few have been granted the halo or the I would say, and let me just say, I granted the halo or the granted the halo of a democracy. But we don't live in democracy. Only a few. But if you're a person of color, if you're elderly, if you're poor, if you're homeless, if you're gay, you're not granted the halo of democracy. You're not granted anything. I think that for me, the biggest thing that I found is that there's no true leadership. The police department. I don't know who. The police department are just. It's just. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if is there a true police department, or I don't know. I don't know what police department hold as their dogma, but really in police departments that did now, they're just shit. And nobody wants to say that there's a shit, and they all need to be scrapped and I know revamped, and I know, and all and the bad ones need to be thrown out, and the bad ones need thrown about, held accountable, and the good ones need to actually stand up and say, "Look, this is what I believe, and I like to have other officers around me who believe in the same thing, who are dedicated to the same thing, and who are dedicated to true uh, policing and leadership, as well as keeping peace, serving and protecting in our society." But that's not why I'm here. We're not going to talk about police. Police has been taught about for years now. I don't know who's going to change those, but I'm talking about democracy, true democracy, true freedom. I have been 13 years. All these motherfuckers have seen me. Every motherfucker I have seen, from every president, all of them have seen me. And they've turned a blind eye because they know the truth. They know that America tortures, violates, castrates, molests, and ultimately kills its own citizens for, to me, to master some, it's either, look, to master some technology, to keep order, like I said, it's the new world order, to keep order, and to hold those who are in power now, to hold their power over the few, to hold the power that they need to solidify and keep solidified to be on top. And I was walking today, and I was so much pain, my back and my hurt and now I have been, because of they stabbing me in my spine, I have been suffering from bouts of incontinence. And as I went today to wash my clothes again, I saw every person in there, every person in that laundromat. Now I know every person in that laundromat knew. They watched me, they've seen me, and I said, and it was a miracle because it was coming in and out was probably more than 20 people. And every one of those people have watched me, my privacy take away, me being tortured, everything. And I asked them, and I asked myself, what do you think is going to happen to you when I'm dead? Because you have not spoken up and said anything, all those people who are just going out of their business, those people are not who are torturing me are not going to go away. They don't have to. You didn't make it something that they had to hide in the corner anymore. They did all this torture and brutalization, and no one said anything. And so now our government is going to get harder and harder and harder because I know due to COVID-19, resources are drying up, money's drying up. Our president Donald Trump doesn't want to relinquish his so-called presidency because he has, because no one is standing up and saying, look, it's enough. Enough. I don't understand. I don't understand why they don't, even someone in his party to say that, look, you have lost. Let the president-elect Biden have his title. But the reason I'm mentioning that is because no one will stand up to him and say, hold him accountable for his deeds. Not only that, is that America lacks the ability to stand up to those who are in power now, who are shitholes, who are shitty, and to say, enough. You have done enough. You are being held accountable, and you are being removed. And you're going to stop the bullshit that goes on in America. In 2015, I realized that that there should be absolutely no torture in the U.S. How can you make a bill like that and every day you watch me? And you know I'm electronic torture. You can see every fathom, every piece. They interrupt my brain chemistry. Every electronic device in here can be under their control. And you all fall short as to want to listen to some sex. Help me get away. It is rape. It is a molestation that can fall upon you, but you do nothing. I don't know. I think that in the end, I know it's sad that you feel like you're going to have to fight for your own country with guns, bombs, and war, because they won't let you free. They've held you, and that's what comes up in mind. They've held me for 13 years for no reason. And the only way you can hold me is because they could use the sexology against me? I don't understand. I feel like I am in a third world country in which a man feels like he can hold a woman prisoner because he could talk nasty to her. I guess I'm not afraid I mean, because I remember this said, what if I cut his tongue and his dick off and cut his hands off? Then what would this really be about? Torture. But hey, I don't give a fuck if you listen to me or not. In the end, like you said, God will do what he said he will do. He is not a man that he should lie. He will come through, yeah, no weapon formed against me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, because any weapon formed against me will be formed against, though I know as formed, any weapon formed against me will not just hurt me, but all those around me, all those in my community, because you kept silent. You watched and you watched, and even if I fall, you think these people are going to leave and shut up? They're going to find other victims they can, and then those people are going to, what? You're going to still stay silent? You're still, oh God, he'll skip me. He won't skip you. These people won't skip you. They're murderers. But like I said to you, is that just as I can't breathe, just as I can't walk, just as I'm suffering, the COVID-19 is out there doing the same thing. I know, just as I have had my finances ripped apart by by this electronic torture in the private sector, in America, the government in the private sector, COVID has broken people. I know, maybe it has broken people financially, mentally, physically, health-wise. They have broken. America's broken, on a precipice of breaking all apart, because your leaders did not hold themselves accountable. Your leaders did not. COVID-19 could have been could have been. Anyway, why am I saying this? Whatever.